welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is October 15, 2023. I'm your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Yo, 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 it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. We've been at it, we've been playing, and it's been a pretty good event. Halloween is always one to be hyped about, and they're easing us in.
I mean, some people are saying that like the last three events were just like filler things and really nothing too much about, but there has been some good stuff here and there. Yeah, it hasn't been too bad when it came down to just playing the game itself. So, I mean, new shinies, interesting spawns. The tactic was crazy. I almost closed the stream for no reason. But yeah, Detective Pikachu was actually pretty cool. I think the spawns were actually pretty okay. Wasn't it? I think both of the new shinies ish were perma boosted now that I think about it. But you know, we only got one of each of the other one, but still. I don't know what I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get to our hauls. I hope you'll be having a wonderful week. We are a little bit late in the podcast this week, mostly because there weren't really that many news from what we were talking. There was some stuff going on in I don't know, in the PvP scene, things that we're probably going to discuss, just and surface wise, but we'll get to it when we get to our PvP section here, unless there's a little more here and there. But aside from that, not too bad. Let's remind ourselves we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out, professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. They are wonderful. You got Justin, Adam, Ken, Jamal. I almost forgot his name. Chris. His name is Chris too. Okay, never mind. Listen to their podcast. Go to the network. Let's talk all things Pokemon Go. And stuff. And more, actually.
And more.
And more. Aside from that, so we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and everything about the game, just as much as you do. Yeah, we love it as much as you do. I don't know. I'm done for today, I think. This week is done for me. We may talk a little bit of sleep here and there if we actually have some time, just because I know it's been kind of like the week after or the 2 weeks after the Good Sleep Day event. I'm hoping for an event happening soon, too, but that's actually one thing. And some interesting stuff getting teased out for Pokemon Go itself. So we'll get there. So, Chris, how about I stop rambling on and you tell us what the hell we got this week?
Yeah. So
week and a half actually. So you know.
Yeah. This week and a little bit of last week. Had a lot of fun playing these events. The Detective Pikachu event was really fun. I do like hunting costume Pokemon, especially. I like that they had the Pikachu do a little pose.
Animation.
I thought that made it stand out a lot.
Yeah. And you guys probably don't remember a lot, and this was only happening this happened like a few years back, where Pokemon was testing out or at least Niantic was testing out some small little animations when you encounter the Pokemon. It was for just a specific amount of Pokemon. I think it was only Gen 1. And it was only for a few days that they tested this out, but then they took it away, and people were a little sad about it. This actually kind of like brings that back, and it's kind of cool that you actually are able to get the shiny and the pose technically for the same Pokemon in the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, I will say it wouldn't be good for like a community day, I feel like, because you got to wait that extra second,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to see all the time. But yeah, starting for the haul, I started with an Alolan Executor, who figures, super boosted.
Right.
Got a shiny Slowpoke with the hat, Chimecho, another Executor. I did get a shiny Shadow Moltres, so I'm very happy about that. Still gonna rate him. Got another Slowpoke, and a third Slowpoke. I think I got two in like an hour, and that was like right after we were talking about it being boosted.
Yeah, I know, right?
and then got a third Alolan Executor and another Chimecho. Got a shiny Lillipup. I think it was at my house, and every single time I see it, I'm kind of surprised that I'm like Oh, wow, that's shiny. Like before I see the sparkles. Um, and then I got a Gligar shiny from a quest. Uh, I did get a Hundo extra large Pumpkaboo. I really think that some extra larges are more likely to be Hundos. Um, I don't know. That's just a theory I have right now, but only time will tell.
Right.
Um, got a ton of shiny timber. I don't even feel like counting them all.
You
Um,
could just do H0 shiny, right?
yeah. Well, yeah. I just got to subtract one. And then I got a Hundo Conkeldurr from a research.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, thank goodness, because I had a 98, but the Hundo's always good to have.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got a shiny Cottony after walking around afterwards. And yeah, it was a great calm day. A lot of people out. Looked like 22 shinies altogether
All
for
right.
Timber. So I'm probably gonna have to transfer some. But but yeah, great event.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Like to recap just a little bit more. So we ended the Detective Pikachu event once we started last week or the last time we podcasted. We ended that. Then we went into the Harvest Festival. Yeah, the Harvest Festival. I'm trying to remember the name of it, really, guys. The Harvest Festival, it's still going on, so we still have a couple of days left on that event. And then, of course, we did the day in between. So this is basically like a lot of holes when it comes down to it. It could have been a little less if we podcasted a bit early, but it is what it is. Okay, so starting on to the Pikachu event, or I guess the Detective Pikachu event. I did get 2 Alolan Executors, 3 Slowpokes with a hat, a Guzzlord, a random Stunfisk when I was going to work, a Go Plus Pelotil, all within that specific week. I didn't get the Pikachu myself, unfortunately. However, though, there's a little story that I'm going to get to it through this community day. So that's basically the whole for that. The Harvest Festival technically gave me the Pelotil. I still don't have, I believe, a Pumpkaboo. I do have a Hunter Pokeball that I will show in just a moment. And I did get, I believe, 23 shinies? 24 shinies, including a shiny Lickitung at the end of the event. I know, it was just
What in the world?
it was just the most random thing that actually happened. We were actually, me and my Amanda, we were just like hunting around, and then all of a sudden we see a Lickitung, and we're like, oh, let's just get this Lickitung because she's looking for the shiny, I believe, and I get the shiny instead. So, so not bad. Some pretty good ones. I think I got like 1 3-star. I did get an extra large Timber, so that's pretty cool. A shiny extra large. I was getting like a bunch of extra large, but the only showcases that I was able to get into were Conkeldurr's showcases. There
Yeah,
weren't any Timbers.
I only found one Conkeldurr, and I put in my biggest Conkeldurr, and it was the same size as somebody else's because it was a wild extra large.
Yeah.
I was like, ah,
I know. So you were like what, second place? I'm guessing.
second place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got second place in like 13th place or something like that. And I didn't enter all 3 because they were all Conkeldurrs, and then they want to evolve them all if I were to find a Timber one. But I didn't see any Timber ones around the area, which was still actually pretty strange. And actually, funny thing is like we started the event and like an hour in, we couldn't see the showcases for a while. We were like, where are the showcases? Like the usual ones that we see, since we know that they're gonna be in the same place. But they weren't there. And then, after like a few minutes after that, we talked about that and finished the routes. We just say them again, and those all Conkeldurr for some reason. Weird enough. Yeah. So as for Hondos, I did say the Pumpkaboo, the extra large Pumpkaboo. I also got a Hondo Lickitung for my hatch. Surprisingly, I don't know if I actually mentioned that last time, but it is what it is. And then I also got a Hondo Pelotil yesterday. Actually, that was pretty cool, to say the least. I will be waiting for the evolution if we actually get the chance to evolve it into his Hisuian form at some point in the future. I don't know when that's gonna happen, anyways.
There's some PvP IV Petitils I'm keeping because I think the IV spread is different for the Hisuian too.
Yeah. So it is one of those things. Not a good range of PvP Conkeldurrs this time around. It's not like Great League and Master League, or I'm sorry, Great League and Ultra League will have a lot of niche. I think it just depends on the meta. As for Master League, it could have, if it wasn't for legendaries and mythicals out there in the wild right now. But if it's like a Premier Cup or something, that we probably, it could probably actually shine in there for sure. I did have, a couple hunters from before, so I did evolve those. So I'm actually ready for Master League, and I have the extra large scale. I just haven't spent it. However, though, today I actually met somebody new when we were walking around. We actually did walk around. It was a beautiful day out today. Not too hot. Actually, it was super windy the entire day. So we weren't sweating like bullets every other minute that we were walking or like taking a step, So it's actually like a pretty amazing day. We walked around like twice the park of GT Bray, so it was actually pretty good. And then we did a couple monsters right here and there. And met up with somebody that actually was like, oh yeah, I came back to the game after so long, since February. So I've been playing around trying to get my Kanto decks completed and all that. So he was trying to do the monsters and everything. I invited to our Discord, so he's actually there now. And he's gonna probably show up in raid days and things like that. However, though, we were talking about like the Detective Pikachu event, and he said he got 2 shiny Detective Pikachus during the time of the event. And he didn't mind actually parting with one at the time, even though it was a very, very expensive trade. 500 Stardust down the drain. But I did get actually a Detective Pikachu from a trade thanks to that. So
Sheesh.
I am happy about that. And it's a female one too, so that's pretty cool too. He had another one, but he already evolved it to a Raichu. I'm probably not going to evolve this one anyways, because I don't think the Pikachu is not going to come back for another 5 years anyways. Unless they make it like a third game.
Detective Pikachu 3, yeah.
I know, right? So it's not gonna be something like that. I really do wish that they use some kind of mechanic to actually bring back like exclusive Pokemons, aside from probably just like the events itself. Because if not, then it's just they're always gonna be out there in the distance, and you're never gonna be able to achieve them.
The only thing I can think is like GoFest, like a cowboy hat, Snorlax and stuff.
Yeah.
They could just throw in a random costume.
Maybe for research or something similar to it. That will probably be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, if we had researches, even if they were really tough, like 3 excellence in a row, I still think people would have fun hunting those for the shiny chance.
Yeah. I hope the Pokemon Go isn't actually like trying to tweet something out at the end of the day today or something.
Oh,
It's probably gonna happen at the end of the podcast today, and I'm just gonna be livid by the time that actually comes out. Anyways, we'll continue on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the day was actually pretty cool today to play. It was, like I said, it was just a beautiful day out. I could have actually gone to the beach and actually play there too, but it was one of those things. We just did a regular grind spot for 2 hours on GT Bray, and then went to the college afterwards. So even though in the college we were just popping off on shinies, it's like shiny here, shiny there, shiny there. So, that's pretty cool, anyways. But yeah, I guess we should probably recap a little bit on the Detective Pikachu event. Just give it ratings real quick, because I don't think we did that by the time we actually had like a podcast. And Harvest event, how well it's going to. So let's talk Detective Pikachu first. Do you think, and here's a question for not just Chris itself, and thank you Zach and Kiki for joining us in the chat. Question for everybody out there, and then of course question for Chris. So do you think that they are actually doing okay when it comes to like collaboration events like this? We had similar ones, Detective Pikachu definitely is one. We had the ones where the custom Pikachu with the hat, like the Razor hat or the like lightning hat, actually appear only for 24 hours or something like that, and then it went away. Or things similar, like the clone Pokemons or Armor Mewtwo, things like that tend to only be here and there, and being as rare as it is. Do you think that this is actually like a good way, to keep up the hype of the game? I mean, I know collaborations are very important, but I don't know if it's just good in the long run, because it just feels like FOMO for a lot of people who actually don't play it.
I mean, I think it definitely makes some Pokemon feel a lot more rare to people. So they want to play during those events. They want to get out and, click on as many Pikachus as they can to try and get that shiny Detective Pikachu. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I can understand people wanting them to extend it, even longer for the events, but then it ends up getting a bit stale. So you got to get that in between. I feel like, especially when people are, trying to find regular Pokemon out in the wild, and you just can't. because it's all event
Right.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I do understand them keeping it on a leash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see it as a negative. Doing events like this, even when they're kind of short, making the Pokemon really rare. I do not have a single costume shiny Pichu. So those are really rare. I know. But I wouldn't like go out of my way to trade people like crazy shinies for those.
I mean, in the end of the day, I actually got lucky when it came down to the Pikachu because I was hunting for it, and the odds said to be really good if you were like really hunting for it in the end of the day. But I never found one, and I had lucky enough to have signed somebody who doesn't really care about it, and then just traded it to me in the end of the day, even though it cost a billion Stardust. When it comes down to it, even though it was
Hmm.
half distance or half price when it comes to Community Day, still was it's one of those things that just creates that FOMO that a lot of people is like, especially for returning players or even just new players in general. They're like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be a thing from now on, just things that I'm gonna miss and
Um,
things like that, or even casuals. You never know.
I mean, I'll use your example today as a another benefit of it. It gets you to reach out with people you haven't really talked to and try and get a trade working. Um, and find out they got really lucky, and you can give them something they want. You can get something you want, and I think everyone benefits that way.
Dude, know
you
that I
know,
actually did give him a shiny Kangaskhan.
shiny Kangaskhan.
Yeah, it's something
And
that
he needed that for his decks.
yeah, it was his actually dex
Yeah,
entry. So
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
fair. In my
it,
opinion, that's fair.
it's fair mostly because it's regional, and two, of course, it's something that you don't see every day, just like the Detective
Mm-mm.
Pikachu at this point. So it's unless you really are on your way Australia right now and actually playing your day, but still. Um, but yeah, it's actually I like a fair trade regardless of how it be. He was just looking for a regular Kangaskhan, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm giving you the shiny. I do have the extra large shiny though, so I'm actually okay with that. So I'm keeping that for a while though. That's for sure. Anyways, but yeah, I feel like this is something like that. But if you guys out there listening to the podcast have any type of like mixed feelings about collaboration events, it wouldn't be a bad idea to let us know just to see the point of view. Like Chris has a good point of view, mostly because he thinks that it's a good thing that this kind of things actually help create more of a community out there. So if it's rare enough, somebody may still have it. You can trade it as long as you do the correct trade or something similar to it in the end of the day. I think it's okay. It may not be a bad thing regardless. I just think that it's a little too much for a lot of FOMO creation in a lot of sense. It still feels different when it comes down to it. But again, this is our audience opinions when it comes down to collaboration events. And we'll continue seeing more. They could have, done a collaboration of like just a 10-year anniversary of X and Y that just passed by. I wouldn't mind that. Give us maybe more Zygarde cells, although they kind of did that already. But but yeah, it's one of those things in the that we keep an eye on when it comes down to it. But you also have to think that a lot of those are usually Pokemon centric or Pokemon international centric when it comes down to it. So yeah, it's just food for thought at this point in the end of the day. And then of course the Harvest Festival is actually happening right now. Got a couple days here more. Punkaboo Smallville's release for the first time. It's all this evolution collection challenge was interesting. Just because you gotta actually catch every single Punkaboo and Smallville's here and there. So we do have a couple of days to before that actually ends, but to make sure that you don't forget, you have to evolve Smallville until his final evolution to really get one of the collection challenges done.
I'm not gonna lie, I was putting it off until I got like a really good one, and
Yeah,
then I accidentally evolved one. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just
yeah,
gonna evolve it the
it's
whole way.
like going all the way. Yeah, yeah. But Harvest Festival, so it's pretty cool so far. A lot of good Pokeballs. I looked at that Pokeball always will have that size difference in the map instead of just like when you actually
Yeah,
put them in screen and things like that. So
I kind of like that it has that unique factor about it.
yeah. But aside from that, of course, no new shiny release, but a lot of shinies that a lot of people are still looking for. The Pokeball itself is a shiny exclusive.
Need it.
Definitely need it in the end of the day. But of course, since Pokeball is, the pumpkin Pokemon, I guess I should say. Everybody wants to look. I guess you get some pumpkin, some olives, and mix that up and actually have a good salad or something. So Smallville
Yeah,
right there.
cooking up all the Pokemon.
Shout out to B because she loves Smallville a lot. I would have not mind actually getting the shiny release of Smallville, but at this point, it's not a bad thing. I guess they'll just wait for next year for it to release it.
Yeah, it definitely would have been cool if they released it right away, but man, there's so many I already got to hunt.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that's that. We'll definitely give a rating. Let's finalize this recap part of things with a rating to the Pikachu event, and then I guess we could probably give it a rating now for the Harvest Festival since we only got a couple of days away from that. So what do you think of Pikachu event?
For the Pikachu event, I think I'd give it like a 9. The only thing that would bump it up for me is if we had Pikachu and Slowpoke in quests, or like more of the other Pokemon, because there was a lot of different Pokemon to shiny hunt, a lot of Stardust opportunities. It's always fun to have a dragon out in the wild that you can pretty regularly see. So if you had any quests for getting a dragon, that was really good. Um, but yeah, other than that, not too much. Um, I think Slowpoke was definitely spawned a bunch, but it was tough. It was tough to find a lot of Pikachu,
Yeah,
which does make it more rare, which is nice. But it would have been interesting to have it in some more different avenues.
yeah.
But yeah, what are you thinking for that?
I was gonna give it like a 7, but now that you mentioned a few things in there, I think I'm gonna give it a solid 8, just for that reason.
Okay.
I do think that the event itself was pretty good. I was hoping maybe Pikachu was spawning a little bit more,
Yeah.
but Slowpoke was okay. That's a new shiny regardless. Even though I was perma boosted, just like Alolan Sequitur. It's kind of weird that that's the only dragon we're actually gonna see most consistently these days because of it.
Yeah, it was I saw like a tiny bit of Jangmo-O,
Yeah,
but definitely nowhere near the amount.
that's for sure. Okay, drowsy. Thank you. Anyways, but yeah, regardless of how maybe, yeah, a solid A when it comes down to it. And Harvest event, we'll wait for that. We'll wait for a little bit longer on that.
Yeah, I don't know how it's comparing to the last event, but it does have a lot of variety and it's got that going for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for when it comes down to it. A lot of Pokemon technically, like even Cottonee, I'm still looking for that shiny, and Pokeball itself
Uh
is a shiny one.
yeah, if you don't get one, I got an extra now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's talk quickly before we actually move on to the news because I know that there's actually a few more things that we got to talk about. We had two Safari Zones, or actually City Safari events, actually happened the last 2 weekends. So, as much as we usually don't talk about those, we technically should because they are the exclusive ones when it comes down to it. Now, there's two technically new releases in this one, a custom and a new Pokemon.
Yeah, because
So,
I was gonna say I saw some interesting costumes.
yeah. So first and foremost, the City Safari zones. I guess I should say just City Safari, regardless. There are three in this year so far, and this month alone. Last weekend, not this one that had just went by, but the weekend before, we had City Safari in Seoul, South Korea, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's just one of those cities that you never really hear too much about when it comes down to events in general. But I think it was pretty cool. I wasn't really looking too much into it, but of course, I watched the usual culprits of travels and everything, Mystic 7 and Zoe 2 Dots and all those. And they had some pretty cool stuff here and there. At the same time, of course, the City Safari actually show a brand new shiny Eevee with the City Safari hat. And then if you catch it, you actually get the city background of the event. So if you get a shiny, because you can get shiny, and that in the Eevee and the background is basically just like a legendary at this point.
I'm so jealous.
It's jealous indeed. I mean, I'm gonna have to start looking for somebody who went to this event. And don't forget me to do that. Let me finish this up before I actually gotta get up and do something real quick. But anyways, yeah, and then after that, we actually a brand new Pokemon from Gen 6. Go. What was it again? Can't remember the name of it. Go. God, I'm blanking on this Pokemon.
What's it?
Go Goat. Go Goat. Go Goat.
Go-Go?
Okay.
Oh, Skiddo and
Yes.
Go-Go.
Yeah, Skiddo and Go-Go are basically Skiddo is the brand new Pokemon release through this event. I'm pretty sure there will be a global release eventually. I'm not sure when, But however, the shiny was also released at the same time, so people were also looking for it. It actually looks a lot better in Pokemon Go than I've seen it in other games. Just because you actually get to see his feet and it's like pink when he comes shiny. But yeah, so those two new shinies, and of course a bunch of other Pokemon that you will see during the City Safari events and everything. So while I do something real quick, Chris, can you give me your thoughts if you actually have any thoughts about those?
Them as shiny unless they were going ham. But yeah.
You want to know one of the worst things about it?
What?
The EV balls.
Yeah, exactly.
That
so
means
you got to collect all of them.
I mean,
if you're a big collector, you got to collect all of them. I personally would be like, I just need an Espeon and an Eevee, and I'm good to go.
Now there is one. There is actually something interesting also to the City Safaris, and this is, of course, we're still talking about Seoul, because there was one in Barcelona this weekend actually. The EVs, as far as I can see, they were only exclusively to a time research when you actually get to the city event.
Whoa.
I don't believe there was the research out in the wild when doing it. You had to go to a very... Okay, so here's how it works. You had your time research. It was like, I believe, 10 encounters with it or less than that. Also, got that. Thank you very much for the subscription. There were 10 encounters in the time research when you get to it, or less. I can't really remember. And then after that, you actually had to go to very specific places. Like there were some Pokestops that had the special EV snapshot or whatever. You had to spin those stops, and then you can get the encountering when it comes down to it. So it was that hard. And as far as I know, nobody else talked about actually getting one from a regular field research or anything like that. Although maybe they were rare or not, but why make it rare if it was an event for the city and things like that. So yeah, imagine this: only up to 9 encounters at best with a EV that's exclusively through the event itself. You can't get it anywhere else, and it has a shiny potential, which is still rare for the reason that you don't know if you're gonna get a shiny or not through those 9 encounters.
Yeah, that's gonna be at the top of people's shiny rarity lists.
Yeah.
I think could Clone Pikachu be shiny?
No, as far as I know,
okay.
No.
Then yeah, I think this is up there then.
Yeah.
This is up there with like 24 hours. The 24-hour Pikachus. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, man! Yeah. Hopefully we get a global. I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I believe that they're actually gonna make it a little more accessible at some point. Maybe not through a Go Tour, or most likely a Go Fest. Just because they really do like releasing custom Pokemons that are previously to the Go Fest itself. So aside from that, again, it's not too bad, but still, it kind of sucks that now hunting for this type of EV is going to be an incredibly hard feat. A nightmare. Especially because even finding somebody that went to those events, and again, there's 3 city safaris, it's still a nightmare itself because not everybody's going to be able to go to every single city safari out there. And of course, Barcelona just happened this weekend. It just ended maybe 12 hours ago or something like that. Regardless of maybe the same deal, Eevee and Skidoo actually happened there. Koi, thank you so much for the raid. Yo, hey, thank you very much for joining us, y'all. Thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing right now. But yeah, so it's that E Safari. It's going to be a rare one. I'd really at least win one. I don't really mind not getting every single one of them of every single EV evolution, but regardless of how it may be, one should be more than enough. Just because I want my Sylveon with that, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you need that Sylveon.
Yeah, definitely. Levitt, Koi, thank you so much again for joining us, and thank you very much for the array. We're talking once again Pokemon Go news updates and ranting about the game because we love the game and probably message everybody else. I'll keep saying it every time it happens, but thank you. But yeah, so that's that. Next, I guess it's time. I didn't think it was going to take this long to actually get to the recaps, but there was actually a lot going on this week and a half for
Yeah,
sure.
it was some fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get into the research topics of the day. So actually find out the first news that we got today. Chris, how about you go on the very first event of this coming week?
Yeah, this one kind of caught me off guard.
I think everybody did.
But yeah, like they announced it, and I was like, okay, that's a cool idea. So, there's going to be an incense day again. I can't remember the last one they did, but it's going to be featuring Skorupi and the two types that it is, which is bug and poison types. So you're going to have a higher chance of getting shiny Skorupi on this day. But there's going to be a ton of other Pokemon that you might want from the incense at the same time, which is really cool. This is going to be on Saturday, the 21st, and it's going to be on 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time. So you might be wondering, how is it going to work? How am I going to get the different types I want? Well, we'll get into it. The event bonuses. Obviously, the incense is going to be more likely to attract Skorupi, which is good because it has the increased shiny chance. And then the daily adventure incense lasts twice as long when activated during the event.
So 30
The
minutes
problem
daily
is-
instance.
Yeah, the problem with the daily is you will be like way more likely to get a Galarian bird, but you're going to get a ton of bugs and poison
Yeah,
types.
that's true. That's true.
So
I
don't know.
Finish up the bonuses real quick, and I got something to say.
Okay. The incense encounters, bug type Pokemon. The following Pokemon will be attracted from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. local time. So if you can't tell off of that, they're going to be switching every hour. Which type is going to be attracted to the incense more? So you're going to have Caterpie, Weedle, Pinsir, Yanma, Wurmple, and Wimpod. Only one of those can't be shiny. And then if you're lucky, you'll find Scyther and Dewpider, which can both be shiny. And then in the opposite time periods, which is 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., you're going to have Ekans, Zubat, Gulpin, Stunky, Krogunk, and Skrelp. The only one that can't be shiny there is Stunky. And then if you're lucky, you'll find a Alolan Grimer and Trubbish. A lot of really good Pokemon to hunt in there. And then for an event bundle, they're going to be having a Pokecoin bundle of only one coin, which is going to have at least an incense. It might just be an incense in the in-game shop, but that's really good. For one coin, getting an incense is really, really good. The field research tasks. On Incense Day, there's going to be themed field research, where you're going to have to catch bug and poison-type Pokemon to earn rewards, such as additional encounters with Skorupi, Stardust, Ultra Balls, and more. So I guess they're trying to make it so you don't run out of items on this Incense Day, which is
True.
definitely really good.
Now, this is not the first and last time we sing this kind of thing. I don't really remember the last time we had one. It was quite a while ago.
I can't remember if it was Bronzor or something. It had to be something with two types, but I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Was it Carvana?
I think so. But wasn't it like last year?
Because Carvana was on my birthday. That's the only reason I remember it, and I know it was an incense event, but I don't remember.
Again, this is one of those things that happens. Events usually can happen to be like super like long ago or just like not enough ago. But anyways, we probably forgot exactly when it happened. We just know that it hit. It definitely wasn't Marip because Azurill actually happened to have the hatch day. But
I think it was Carvana, but
yeah,
it could have been anything.
I think you're right. I think I was like doing a little bit of research when you're talking, and then I kind of felt like it was, but I can't remember. And that was last year, so that was actually interesting. Also, Fancy Tatter, thank you so much for joining us. So two things that I actually got to talk about. So number one, this event is almost a full day event. I thought it was only the 3 hours, just when I was reading it the first time, but I kind of missed that it was starting at 11 a.m. I will be at work for the first 3 hours of this event, unfortunately. So it is what it is.
At least it repeats. I will say that.
Correct. So it's not too bad. If you're actually specifically hunting for something, it makes sense to look for them. But yeah, I'll probably be missing the first rotation of it, and then the second rotation all around. And I'll just be running the Gold Plus when I will work this Saturday. So, but yeah, some Pokemons are okay. They're pretty cool. The bug type ones seems I guess the Scissor and the Dewpider is actually the most like sought after when it comes down to it, since both one of them has a Mega and the other one has been a shiny that's barely been released out in a while.
Yeah, other than that, it's just getting that Hundo Shundo,
So also to note, please make sure you Mega Evolve a Beetroll during this time, because you will get both bonuses at the time of. And then the poison one, I guess Trubbish is still rare. Scrub, it doesn't really feel like that much anymore.
What?
For some reason, they didn't
Are
give...
you?
Yeah, I know, right? Stunky, for some reason, is not shiny yet. I mean, I don't know why that's not the case. But yeah, I guess the Zubat for Chris is one of the other ones for sure.
Yeah, I need that Trubbish, Scrub, and Zubat.
It also is also like one of those events where Alolan Grimer, even though I think it spawns in the wild now, is more likely to actually be found in this type of event. So I mean, if you're getting the shiny, or just the shiny itself, that's pretty cool anyways. So I guess for me, the real biter will be the bug type ones.
Or Dewpider?
Yeah, Dewpider is definitely one that I do want, being that it's probably the most elusive shiny out there for us right now until some other type of event. This also feels like a replacement to the Bug Days events or the Bug Week event that they have. I think the bug that usually happens at the beginning of each year or something. But I don't know. It really depends. I know they're trying different things when it comes down to it. But one thing that's for sure that they're repeating a lot of new shinies, or a lot of shinies that we already had, and it just feels tiring to see them. I know that they don't want to bring out like every new shiny every time a new event comes out, because if not, they're gonna run out of shinies at that point. But I feel like they should have better picks when it comes down to it. I mean, Skorupi is nice. It's a cool shiny. It's a good shiny. Has some PvP liability if you actually know how to use them. But still, it's just a shiny that we had for probably years now. Every other shiny aside from probably Dewpider is the only one that really people are looking forward to. Or less looking forward to, I guess I should say, but still. But yeah, I don't know. What else? Do you have any more thoughts here for this one event, Chris?
I mean, I'm excited. I think it has enough variety that there's one thing for everybody. I mean, some people might go, every other hour going, oh, I don't really care about anything.
Make sure you take lunch on this kind of thing, so.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun event, I will say that.
Yeah, definitely one for another book, and anyways. When we get to it, anyways. But yeah, let's get into the next piece of news, and this is the exciting one because everybody wants this one. And this is finally the news on Halloween 2023 Part 1, and we have some interesting releases here and there. So trainers, shed some light on what treats awaits you this Halloween adventure, and don't worry, it's not trick. Grievant, right? Graveyard. Just call it Graveyard. Will make its Pokemon Go debut. More Paldea Pokemon's coming into Pokemon Go. That's actually pretty cool. This one is one that a lot of people are looking forward for sure. The sights, the sounds of Pokemon Go Halloween celebrations will return, including a remix of Lavender Town music, festive decor, a theme time research, and be on the lookout for plenty of ghost-type Pokemon will be hunted in the wild.
Yo.
And then, of course, Part 2 will be coming the week after, and that's when Halloween really is part of it. So this starting on Thursday, October 19th, so basically this Thursday coming up, 10 a.m. to Thursday, October 26th at 10 a.m. local time. Pokemon debuts, we have Gravant and Houndstone making its Pokemon Go debut. Only takes 50 Pokemon to actually evolve the Pokemon. This is a good boy ghost type Pokemon, so keep out for that. He's actually pretty powerful in the meta too, but if you know what you're doing. I think it's a ground type Pokemon also when it evolves into Houndstone, right? No?
Nah, I believe it's just Ghost.
Yeah, I think the only reason why I was mistaken it is because
it literally has stone in the name.
Yeah, I know. Well, aside from that, I think this main ability in this main series games is something like Sand Swift or something like Sand Rush. So
It
that's
might
why
have
like
Sand Rush too.
I think it has Sand Rush. So a lot of people usually pair out with Tyranitar or something like that. The following Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild: Ekans, Zubat, Alolan Meowth, Ghastly, Hunter, Spinarak, Mischievous, Poochyena, Shuppet, Drifloon, Lickitung, and Phantom. You'll also be able to encounter Sandy Gas if you're lucky enough. Actually two of those encounters are not shiny available, which is the Hunter, which I don't know why they haven't actually released a shiny at this point. And Sandy Gas, which is a new Pokemon that hasn't been released for too long.
It's fun to catch, yeah.
However, though, I know, right? Actually, story-wise, when it comes to Sandy Gas, I get that as my daily Pokemon of the day, and it always runs away.
What?
Yes, it always...
Dude, I've had it as my daily for so much, but I also don't play around. I'm like Ultra Ball.
Why is it run away so much? I don't know. I think it has like the same catch rate of Abra or something. Anyways,
I don't know.
Phantom being the brand new shiny Pokemon of this event. So this is something that a lot of people were looking forward for a while. Flex those PvP Trevenants in the Great League if you can. I don't know if it's still available out there because the meta has swifted so much in the last few months.
It's typing is supreme, man.
There's also a pay time research for $5 or equivalent price, so your currency, for an event exclusive time research. So this is separate from the one we actually pay for the whole month of October. They complete the research tasks to encountering Ghost type Pokemons like Phantom, Dark type Pokemons like Alolan Meowth, as well as Halloween themed avatar posts. And of course, this time research can be completed and finished before the October 31st at 8 p.m. local time. So you have a little bit of time. Basically goes, I think, through the entire Halloween part 1 and 2. So this is actually pretty good. I'm not sure how it will work if part 2 is something more or something. Time research will be available for everybody starting on October 19 at 10 a.m. local time. And it will feature focus on catching Ghost-type Pokemons. And you can complete the encounters to receive Stardust, encounter with Grim, and more, basically. So that's actually pretty cool. You actually get some really good PvP ones. Not PvP, but any good high IV ones from this.
Yeah.
However, though, that is not the only time research that we're going to be having. Additionally, event exclusive time research will be available starting on October 19. That time research focuses on Spiritomb, and it's 108 spirits will be available throughout the event. Completed to get encounters with Spiritomb. And of course, shiny Spiritomb. You understand that this is actually a very big deal.
A great shiny.
Spiritomb is only available usually through Halloween events or ghost type events, regardless of how it may be. But we only see it once a year. Mm-hmm. This is your chance to get it. Last year was even worse because we didn't really have Spiritomb spawning either in the wild or in field research. So this is actually a great way to go. I'm not sure if we're going to have field research for Spiritomb at the time of this event. I don't think so,
but
I don't know. I don't believe so, but I do believe that at least you'll have some encounters during the time, of the time research anyways. Event bonuses.
I think it might just be really rare.
Yeah, it's super rare. I mean, you can't even get it through regular means regardless.
No.
So it's weird how they're actually like gaining that Pokemon anyways. After so many years. Anyways, event bonuses. Additional candy for successfully catching a Pokemon with a nice, great, and excellent throws. You also get to receive additional extra large candy for trainers at level 31 and above for hatching eggs, actually. Additional extra large candy for successfully catching the Pokemon with a nice, great, and excellent throws. And then 2 times candy for hatching Pokemons.
Holy cow.
It's interesting to say that this is the first part of the event. Maybe the second part will have it, but we don't have an extra bonus for catching Pokemons.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Aside from the throws, but still.
Yeah, maybe they thought it was too OP to have 2 times catch candy unless you're like new Pokemon.
Unless you're stacking them up or something, with research stats and everything. Event team field research stats will be available if I know how to talk. Complete this field research task to rewards such as encounters with Mr. Best, Phantom, Pokeballs, and more. So, I mean, you're never probably going to run out of Pokeballs anyways. We do have 1-star Race, Mr. Best, Shuppet, and Drifloon. 3 stars, Gengar, Sandygast, and Grievant. And then 5 stars, we have Guzzlers until October 20th. And then Darkrai comes into raids right after that. So starting on October 20th. Mega Race, Mega Gengar will be here until October 20th, which we already have. And then Mega Banette will make its return once again into the Mega Raid rotation. The eggs are probably the most interesting one. The following Pokemon in the 7 kilometer eggs Munchlax, Riolu, and Galarian Yamask being hopefully the only 3 Pokemon you can hatch from this event at 7K. So this is another
If
hatch
that's the
event.
case, I'm using incubators.
Yeah. So this is one of those things. If you had a little tip, just make sure you hatch all your incubators or all the eggs before the event. Don't spin into Pokestops. Get all the 7K eggs that you can throughout the event and then hatch them like madness. We don't have, unfortunately, a hatch bonus event part of this. So it's just, do it as your discretion whenever you can. It's not one of those things in the other day. And then new avatar items and stickers. This actually are spooky as hell.
What are these costumes, man?
I know. Yamask mask. Yamask mask. That's actually an interesting way to say that. Coffee Greeter's costume, Coffee Greeter's head, Phantom head, Gravient wig, and more. And then some stickers. You also are able to get the Gravient hat if you are partnered with Prime Gaming, for the looks of it. So starting on October 16, which actually starts tomorrow, until November 17, you can receive these rewards, and then before you have to complete the task before December 25th, so before Christmas basically. So it is how it is. Pokemon Go Web Store Halloween bundle will be available in the web store, so make sure you check that out. 2 Halloween bundles will be available. $5, I think trainers will receive 10 raid passes, 2 star pieces and 2 lucky eggs, which is pretty cool. And then for $10, you'll receive 10 super incubators, 5 regular incubators, and 2 incenses. That's not a bad deal for $10, really, if you are planning to hatch a lot of events.
Looking at those 7Ks, yeah.
Yeah. Event bundles, so 3 Halloween bundles will be available throughout this event in the in-game shop. So that's actually way more than that, actually. For $4.95. Okay, so this is the first time they actually do something like this. They're actually giving us the pricing of the coins, of how many coins you can use for each one of the boxes. This is actually rare, guys, so let's let's get into it. For $4.95 Pokecoins, you will receive 3 remote raid passes, 1 star piece, and 1 lucky egg. For 725 Pokecoins, you receive 10 premium raid passes, 2 star pieces, and 2 lucky eggs. And for 1,550 Pokecoins, you receive 10 super incubators, 5 incubators, and 2 instances. Whew! I'm kind of, and aside from just the bundles itself, I feel like this is something we see every day, every event anyways. Having to know those kind of coins previously is actually pretty good so far.
A lot more transparency.
Thank you, Pokemon Go. Pokestop showcases. The showcases with different Pokemons will enter with Shuppet, Banette, and or Gravient. So make sure you keep those extra large, because we haven't seen extra small yet. We already talked about the ticket of 3 time research or paid time research. A lot of different things out there. You have until the end of October to really finish it up. Then we have Lavender Town Music. So at night, the remix of Lavender Town Music will be playing throughout this whole Halloween event. So if you want to listen, just turn off the audio into your game. You can also go to a video in their website to listen to it mostly. And then at the core, during both parts of the Halloween event, Pokestop gyms will be decorated for the Halloween, or for the holiday, sorry. We hope to you enjoy the colorful decor. They actually tested it out in the last, during the release of this event, or this news here. So, yeah, a lot to go on for that. A lot to go on. I'm hyped. I'm a little bit hyped when it comes down to it.
Halloween is almost my favorite time of year. And Pokemon Go has definitely amplified it.
Yeah. I do think that we have a lot going on. Some things may be a little bit dull because of the spawns, but ghost type Pokemons are still plentiful during this event. We're gonna be having fun. New Pokemons, new shinies, ghost type Pokemons you rarely even see half the time. And then I think the game itself, it just looks beautiful when it comes down to it. I think that we're really excited for part 1. I'm hoping part 2 is gonna just amp up the FOMO afterwards, but still, it's still pretty cool in the end of the day. Okay, so like I said, I didn't think we were gonna run this long when it comes down to it, but anyways, we are still here. Pokemon Go has been teasing out some interesting things in on Twitter, or X, I should say. But they are being teasing out this new party play feature, I think I should say it. We know it's a feature for just data mining itself. However, we still don't know the schematics of it yet. We don't have the full on news about this. I was hoping that was gonna actually be released before the weekend started, but they are starting to tease it again.
Oh my gosh!
So hashtag go start the party is basically what it's telling you. We're gonna start a party. As far as we know, or at least informational wise, not just from data mining, but how it works itself, this is something that's similar to another Niantic game that they just recently released called Monster Hunter, or Monster Hunter Now, actually. Chris, I know you don't play that game, but I've been playing the heck out of that game because it's fun. However, though, what happens is in Monster Hunter Now, there is a feature that allows you to actually group up with 3 other people in your party and then hunt together. If you're not close enough, you technically cannot. You can still actually invite them to your party, but you cannot do like specific monster battles and all that stuff. This one seems similar just because it does look like you need a party of 4 to really party it out. And I don't know. It just really depends on what type of bonuses and or things that will happen when you actually adventure out with your party members. Yeah, there we go. I lost my phone there for a second. Anyways, but yeah, I'm hoping that in the next few minutes they're actually going to release more information about this. For some reason,
Definitely be interesting.
Yeah, hold on.
I mean,
there we go.
the fact that we usually ride around in a group, like for raid hour.
Yeah.
I think this is really good for stuff like that because we usually have like 4 people in the car anyways.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to see this locally. I think it's definitely a good way to get groups together. I am a bit bummed out. It maxes out at 4, but it has to max out somewhere.
True. I think that this is actually a very good way to emphasize just having a little group together every time you want to do something. Again, we're not entirely sure how the feature is really going to fully function and what kind of bonuses it is. We'll actually invite a party itself in the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But most likely we'll know this either by tomorrow or so, or even by the end of the night, however it makes maybe. But yeah, they're starting to tease out some things. We're technically will be ready to know more about it, and when it actually comes out, when we'll let you guys know, and we'll probably have more time to really party it out. So let's party. All right, real quick before we get into a PvP section, let's do a quick check-in on Pokemon Sleep. And just do it really quick. We had 2 weeks since the last time we really talked about this, just because last time we didn't really talk too much about it. I've been in the Cavern Hollow or whatever it's called, Tala Hollow, whatever it's called, for the last 2 weeks, just to maximize the area's effectiveness, I guess I should say.
Yeah, getting up that area bonus or whatever it's called. Yeah.
So I haven't reached Master in a while, for like 2 weeks now since the Good Day event. My team is not perfect, but it is not impossible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I get enough ingredients for it. I think that if I have one more Pokemon that actually helps me out a lot more, instead of like maybe a berry collector or something like that, maybe. But just even trying to get ingredients for any type of biome is hard enough as it is. But most of my Pokemon are starting to hit great levels. I was thinking of evolving my Charmeleon into Charizard, but I'm thinking it's like I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, see if I get anything cool. I am thinking of moving back to Green Nest Island, the first island, not because I want to hit Masters, but more like I just want to see if I can get that other area also powered up by then. So it really depends. Chris, what about you? What do you got so at?
Yeah, I still need 15 more for the Tundra. I've been in the Hollow. I'm just about to hit Ultra 5, but I do not think I'm going to get to Master 2 for the incense that I need.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with how this week went, even though I didn't really get to sleep that much with how much was going on the last few days. But
the Gold Plus helps, so...
Oh, yeah. Definitely a lot of fun. I'm going to be very excited when I finally get, the last few that I need to finally get to the tundra. Because I've heard from you that Pokemon like Altaria spawn there, so I'm definitely excited for that.
But it's going to be incredibly hard to actually get masters in that biome for sure. Like,
Yeah,
if you're right now, if you think that the hollow is actually like, you can barely even get close to Master One, just imagine how bad it would be to actually get to even Ultra in the tundra. So I do think that you have a very strong team, but you're gonna need some Pokemons from the specific berries for Snorlax in this one, because it's not gonna be that easy.
Yeah, I told you I'm trying to start looking at like which Pokemon collect which berries, and then I might start grinding based on that, based on the area I'm going to.
I think the reason why I actually want to go back to the first area is because I want to actually get that area bonus up. I really didn't get that one much to going because I always stayed in the beach, or starting to get the hollow going up and everything. I don't know if I want to stick with the same team that I have right now. It depends on the berries, because the berries are different in that in the first area for some reason. I don't know why, but it is how it is. But yeah, it will be good to go back in there, get a little more things, maybe get rarer Pokemons, because in the end, I think in the first island you actually get almost every single other Pokemon depending on the Jurassic power. So yeah. Just to make sure, and then by the time we probably have some news by the end of the week, or this, by either tonight or tomorrow, we'll probably have more news about how sleep is gonna go for the next week, and then we should be in a good sleep day pretty soon, actually. So that's actually been quick week.
I'm really glad they're doing events like that, especially since it basically just started. Like a month ago.
Yeah, let's hope for something cool for this next for the end of the holidays, if we actually get to that point, but I don't know. So but yeah, that's our quick check-in. Now let's get into our PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. We're not gonna talk Pokemon. God, Pokemon Go, really? Why are you doing this? That's weird. Well, Twitter and also itself. Let's really get to this. If Pokemon Go decides to drop something now, then we'll get to it in the end of the day. But I'm just hoping that it does. Anyways, GBL isn't too bad. We just had the GBL weekend. I didn't do all my sets, but I did get a pretty good streak going. I think I had a streak of 13 or 18 streak, so that's pretty good actually. I was still in the lower levels, and some people were actually just dropping their sets because they don't even care about it. But one good thing about the weekend, it was that you actually get the whole entire research, even the paid research, for free. I don't know if it was a glitch, I don't know if it was a mistake, but we were able to actually get all 50 battles. The pay time research was free for everybody during the time of the event.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so most of the time, the free one is like 10 battles at best, and you think you get like the gloves for Gira. But if you actually all 50 of them, you think you get some extra large candies and things like that. So
it was like 3 or 2 extra large rare candies.
For like
I remember that.
Yeah, so not too bad when it came down to it. Let me see while we talked about this to go to Pokemon Go news, but doesn't look like there's any news yet. It looks like maybe the news up tomorrow.
They're hiding it till right after the podcast.
I know it's gonna happen. Anyways, but yeah, that's that on GBL. Really, not much after that. We're back in the Great League and the Sunshine Cup right now, and the Great League Edition. And then we're gonna go to another week by the time the next podcast comes out. So bear with us in the end of the day. Real quick now, what we're gonna be talking about is the bare surface of what we actually have learned through other people and other, and other medias out there, plus whatever we've seen in Twitter X at the end of the day. Ghost Stadium. If you guys haven't actually been following the madness, Ghost Stadium has had some pretty interesting changes to the personnel. And this occurred over some, I guess, bad decisions from the CEO of it. I can't remember his name. Is N Huff? No, I think it's J Huff. There's J something. Not entirely sure the name of the CEO of Stockholm Stadium. However, there's been some bad rep going on between him and another member or an ex-member of the Ghost Stadium team. transphobics and all those things are actually happening. First and foremost, we don't condone anybody's, gender type or anything like that. When it comes down to it, whoever you are, you are. If you play Pokemon Go, you are a good person to us. We will never diminish you just because of who you are or things like that. So make sure that you understand that you are loved. We play the same game. We all love the same game. We are supposed to be good in that sense. We're all human beings, regardless of how it may be. But yeah, that's my own statement when it comes down to it. However, there's been some bad rep going through that, and unfortunately, or I guess fortunate or unfortunately, I don't know how you would actually see it. The CEO of Go Stadium is stepping down. Go Stadium itself actually posted a statement of what was going on. Now, I won't read the whole thing because once again, we actually have not many time today. But if you really want to see more of it, go to Twitter, go to Go Stadium. Go Stadium itself feels like it's going downhill. Some things here and there they may not seem like it was. A lot of players are actually dropping Go Stadium. Go Stadium is being sold to another owner. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna happen. The CEO went on live with on an interview. They got demolished because of the way that he was talking. I'm not sure, depending on how you look at it in the end of the day. Regardless of how it may be, Go Stadium is going to be changing a lot. Hopefully another big organization, maybe Side Garden, if it actually goes through things like that. We're not entirely sure yet, because of this, things have actually got into a hole in a lot of different projects. Not just because of the CEO itself, but in general how things may be. Players are a little scattered right now. PvP community is in shambles. Not just because of Niantic, but this time because of his players. I don't know if we feel like we have the right to talk about it. We definitely don't. We have seen Stadium be a part of the community for a long time, especially for the PvP community. And for this to happen to a pillar, for us, it was considered a pillar to the community, to fall down that easily because of mistake of one person, especially because of the CEO itself, just takes a bad taste in our mouths for sure. Any thoughts on that, Chris?
I mean, it's unfortunate because it's one of the top people in the organization, and when something like that happens, there has to be a massive shakeup after that. So it's definitely disheartening, but I think the whole Pokemon Go PvP scene is strong enough on its own that we'll be able to pick up our straps. Thank goodness we got the PvP going at Worlds in the actual Pokemon Go Pokemon events. Because without that, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how we'd be doing.
Well, one thing that we actually have to say is that a Go Stadium was actually very good. It's basically that too, but in our minds, aside from just Silt Arena itself or Silt JGG, was like the esports organization that actually took its players to compete in the regionals or go to special events and things like that. When it comes down to it, again, having that type of organization fall down that easily and losing the support not just from these players but Niantic itself, just again leaves a bad taste in our mouths, because we know that we could be better if we just treat everybody equally. In that sense, it's just sad to see it go like this. But we're not entirely fully sure how it's gonna go or how it's gonna change. We don't know if it's the name itself is gonna change. We're just going to be seeing less and less maybe of Go Stadium for the time being, until new management and new CEO and things start to pick up again. But right now, again, the whole PvP community is in shambles between Silt Arena and CGG actually closing its doors, Go Stadium going down. We're basically left with almost no pillar community out there for the PvP out there. So we're a little bit in shambles. We don't know how it is. We'll hopefully another leader out there will pick up the pieces and try to rebuild it from the ground up again. We have a foundation. We just have it really broken down right now. So I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. Any more thoughts, Chris? Anything else?
Yeah, not too many thoughts on that. I am I'm going to be watching to see, how Ghost Stadium plays out.
Yeah, yeah,
What they decide to do going forward.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
We'll see. Again, it's just a matter
yeah,
of if a matter of time, and hopefully the timing will be perfect. But yeah, that's all we're gonna really say. If we had more news and updates about it, we'll probably talk about it. But that's basically been the rage right now on Twitter, aside from teasers out there. But anyways,
uh, I will say Switchmasters did pretty good this week. The team got 13-8 in this bout, so very nice.
nice,
I didn't play this week. I'm going to be going in the next week, though, for this next week, playing Savannah Cup. But yeah, very happy with the squad. Apparently, we have a chance at getting third.
nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, so I'm definitely happy with that. I'm kind of surprised. I'll be real though.
Hey, you never know. You actually just gotta get better and better out there. But yeah, congratulations all around. Bronze medal is still a good medal.
Oh yeah, yeah. My team too good.
Too good, maybe too good. Anyways,
Three good. We're three good.
all right. Anything else to cover? I know that Niantic will probably not drop the news tonight, so it is how it is. If it does, we'll figure it out. Actually, gotta hit the bathroom pretty quickly, so let's get this podcast ending, shall we? Anyways,
All right.
thank you so much for everybody listening to the podcast. If you were here on stream, thank you so much for everything coming into the stream. If you want to watch us, of course, you can also watch us on YouTube. We're trying to upload every episode on YouTube, Otaku-san, if you haven't heard that before.
Very good.
Podcast services fees, if you actually want to listen to us just on the road or on the way to work or anything like that. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, not Stitcher, because I know that that's actually gone. Amazon Music and more. If you can leave us a review, we greatly appreciate it. Social medias, Purified Podcast, Pure Let It Go, and Pokemon Trigger Please. That's PKMN Trigger Please with a C at the end. Email us anything or anything you want to talk about, purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. Join our Discord. It's free to always be there. And don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. All right, Chris, before I actually, do something I shouldn't be doing here in stream, take us away for the night.
Yeah. It's been a fabulous week and a half, and we got a lot of stuff to look forward to. I hope you guys are able to get whatever you want out of these events. Hope you guys can find 3 other friends to talk to and get ready for this party feature, which hopefully we'll be able to tell you guys about next podcast.
Let's party.
Wait, yeah, let's check Twitter after the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's unleashed yet.
Yeah.
But looks like a fun feature, but get talking with your friends and get ready for it. And we'll catch you guys next week with even more news for you. Peace out, guys.
Keep purifying, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.